What up? What up? Man, I'm so grateful for this opportunity this evening, this Friday night. I know it's a little later than we had originally planned, but I want to thank you if you're able to tune in with us this evening. I'm really excited about this artist. It's actually going to be my first time interviewing this artist. I've interviewed people from his camp on God Over Money. I've interviewed Bizzo and I interviewed my man Dayton. And this will be my first time interviewing this next artist. I got to tell you, I checked out his album, and if you haven't listened to Hope is Dope Part Two, you've got to do it now. Like after this interview, make sure you go and buy it, support the brother. I'm gonna bring him in right now. My man Jered Sanders. What up? What up?
Hey, what's good, man? How you doing?
Doing well, my brother. So, question: is the audio clear on your end?
Yeah. You definitely sound loud and clear over here, bro.
That's what's up, my brother. Bro, first and foremost, man, before we dive into it, man, I gotta tell you, I repent, dude. I slept on you for a long time, man. Um, I've heard just a couple of songs here and there, man, but when I heard this song, I was convicted, man. I've been sleeping for such a long time. Hope is dope. It is dope, dude. The project is dope, man. I appreciate this project, dude.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So even before we dive into this project of yours, man, as soon as I told people that I was going to be interviewing you, I had a gang of messages. I can't even count them how many messages of people telling me that when you interview Jered, make sure you asking this question. So this is me doing my due diligence, and it's this: why do you hate or strongly dislike the Miami Heat?
Nah, man, cut it out. I don't strongly dislike the Miami Heat, right? I don't personally have any bias against the Miami Heat. I'm a Lakers fan. We're not rivals of the Miami Heat. Like they're not really on our radar, honestly, man. So, uh,
Oh, you
yeah,
said
man. I love Florida, man. I love the heat when it's 80 degrees and sunny. I love it when it's 75 and windy. I love the heat, man. I don't
but not
understand.
on the court.
He said, "What now?"
But just not on the court though.
No. Listen, like I love basketball. I love the South Beach colors y'all have. Like
You're
I love
not naming any of the skill though. Like you keep dodging the skill though.
I mean, I love the University of Miami. I love the Miami Dolphin. Like, I love the Dolphins in Miami, not the Miami Dolphin football team, but like dolphins, like at like an aquarium. Um, yeah, I don't hate
All
the
right,
heat. What a
but
boy.
look, can you be honest with me though? I mean, without any hate, is there any chance for the Heat to make it, semifinals or something like that?
I think they could get to the second round. I think they have the potential to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think that's predicated on where Philadelphia ends up. Because I think y'all are a really bad matchup for Philly. I think y'all can beat Philly. I just don't think you guys can beat Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee, unless Giannis gets injured, let's knock on wood. I just don't think you guys
Yeah.
can beat them. And you got to beat them to get to the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Yeah, man. All right. You know what? Let's just put that to the side because I know, we can agree to disagree. I mean, but anyway, we'll dive into that sometime later, man. But let's get to this. Let's get to this music, bro. Because obviously you don't know much about basketball. So let's get to
Okay, okay. All right.
No, no, I'm just playing. I don't know anything about basketball, bro. Look, Jered Sanders, you've been in the scene for a minute now. One of your interviews were mentioning that in 2017, that's kind of when you signed over to God Over Money, and that's old news. You being part of God Over Money. But one thing that I loved about this interview you shared is the way that you got involved in the God Over Money was really organic. You said that you started off with engaging with, and not on a musical tip, but just wanting to reach out to him and search for brotherhood or community.
Right.
And you mentioned that you didn't even push music till he asked you. I think it was till he asked you for a feature or something like
Right.
that. Yeah. And why? I mean, why is that important? To know that it's people might assume, nah, man, you just sent them a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of music and all that, but it wasn't about that. It was organically on a brotherhood level. Why was that important for you, and maybe important for you when deciding to actually join God Over Money?
Um, I've always kind of conducted myself under the mindset like approach him like a man, not a fan. Ultimately,
Mm,
you let the work speak for itself. Like the work that God was doing through me and the creativity that I had musically is what got me through the door. Like that was gonna speak before any DMs or like hey check out my music or anything like that. So um, honestly, I just came into the space. Honestly, I didn't come in as I didn't come in with the mindset of saying, "Hey, I'm a Christian rapper, Jesus Christ." I didn't come like that. What I did was I said, "I love Jesus. I'm going to make." I just happen to love rap too, and it just happened to be flow out of that. That was what would happen, and I prayed, and I was like, "God, send some people my way who were just sincere and who were honest." And it wasn't about, how many, hits I had and all that stuff. And we built from there. So Dayton is the first person that connected because I had a song called Hope on the original Hope is Dope project called Crown Full of Thorns. And that
mm,
record ended up getting the attention of somebody who Dayton used to rap with when he was on the secular side, battle rapping. And that is how he and I connected. And it was
mm,
awesome, because they at that point I didn't have to send Dayton music. Like Dayton found out
mm,
about me through music. Like there wasn't any reason for
mm.
me to, send demos and stuff like that. I just wanted to
Yeah.
know who Dayton was. Dayton wanted to know who I was, and we built from there, man. And then as a result of that, he started paying more attention. Oh, that's dope music. That's dope music. And he started putting a bug in business ear the whole time,
Mm.
unbeknownst to me. You know what I'm saying? And then we built that way. Like, and he asked me to be on like a T. Wilder song. It wasn't even a Dayton song. And I just hopped on the record and we built from there and kept growing, man. That's all it really was.
Yeah, and you were mentioning in another interview, you were mentioning how, many times people assume right when you get signed, for any rapper growing up, you get signed, that's it, you made it, you're done, your problems go away, you're balling already.
Right,
But you mentioned how when you got signed to God Over Money, it wasn't that easy either because as soon as you got signed to God Over Money was when you got laid off from work.
right.
And then during that time, you also got inspired to write "Hurry Up and Wait." And you mentioned how when you summarize the song, it was about that season. And this is what you said. You said when God gives us a vision, we think He's telling us to go like right there, but
Right.
that's not really always the case. It's about always being ready, but also waiting on God. Tell me how that season that inspired that song, the challenges you faced in that season, from going balling, you're signed to God Over Money to being laid off.
Yeah, it's wild because community is what helped me out. When I got laid off, I didn't know what to do, and it just so happened that it was all around the same time that the GOM tour had started, the Truth Music tour with Bizzle and Ishan and Seven and Thizzle and all that. And I ended up getting laid off, and I don't know why, but as I was walking to the train station, I told the guys in a Telegram chat, I said, hey. I just got laid off. I don't know what to do. And they were like, man, that sucks. And we kind of they were like, oh, hey, if you need anything, let us know. And as I think it probably was a couple days. I was wallowing in self pity, probably digging into some Ben and Jerry's ice cream or something. I don't really remember. Crying and sobbing and all that stuff. Or in dark rooms. I don't know. It was something like that. And my wife started to see me wallowing in self pity, and so she was like, why don't we fast? Let's fast for 3 days. And on the third day of that fast, um, coincidentally, we on the third day of that fast, Bizzle gave me a call that night and said, "Hey, how do you feel about coming and hopping on tour?" And at that
Wow.
time, it really wasn't even to perform. I was pretty much the dude that was loading up the bags, loading up merch and running business merch table. He gave me a little bit of change, let me hop on stage, to do Cinnamon with him, and travel in the country for the second half of the tour. And when I got back, I was like, "Yo, we about to take off. It's time. It's time," and it still wasn't time. So
Mm,
I had to go through that season, and it caused a lot of stress, but we got there. And so the synopsis of Hurry Up and Wait was really, you know, summed up in Stephen Furtick. He was like, the only thing worse than waiting on God is wishing that you had. Um,
mm,
and so the only thing more difficult than waiting on God is wishing that you had. And so that summed up that season. Sometimes God tells us things or reveals things to us, and me specifically, I'm like, yes, He showed it. It's time. Let's run. And it wasn't. And but I learned a lot because of that. I learned a lot about patience. I learned a lot
mm,
about knowing that God is a provider. I learned a lot
mm,
about a lot of the grace that God extended during that season, because I was pretty much in dark times at that point.
mm, mm. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Reinhard Joseph. He says your album is dope from the UK. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's dope, man. Shout out to Reinhard.
yeah. Shout out to
Um, yeah, man. So, uh, coming along what you're saying there during the hurry up and wait, and how how that all worked out, and you signing with God over money. You mentioned community was important to you, and then when someone asks you what's the difference about working with God over money being signed, you said, well, the difference is you got to wait. You're working as a team. You got to wait to drop and all that. And it sounds like prior to being signed to God over money, you were wanting brotherhood, you were wanting community,
right,
and then what you found in God over money was that brotherhood and was that community.
right.
Why do you think for someone watching right now that believes, hey, I don't have to go to church, church isn't important, I have a relationship with Jesus? What would you say to that person that doesn't believe in community is that important?
Okay, so if we go off of the simple term, uh, I don't have to go to church to be saved. Okay, let's say that's completely accurate. You don't have to go to church to be saved. Okay, got it. The Bible does say that faith comes by hearing and hearing the word of God. So how are you going to hear it at that point? So once we get to that point, are we isolating ourselves after hearing this word? Like, are we
Mm,
all by ourselves and only having to deal with ourselves? Like, where's the accountability that comes into play? So that's what
mm,
purpose of community is. Like, whether that's a small group in somebody's living room or a 3,000 member church, I think the priority and emphasis that we need to have is to understand that there's importance in knowing that there are like-minded people with you that want to pray for you, that want to do life with you, that want to grow with you, and want to see the best in you. And that's what's important. So if they're saying they don't want to go to church because of whatever reason, it's unfortunate that they would say that, because I think
mm,
there's so many benefits to community and the assembly of believers. So I would challenge them at that point: if you don't find the right church, be the best representation of the church
mm,
for yourself, so that you can then find people that are like minded, so that you guys can congregate and assemble together. Because
mm,
God is absolutely looking for the body to fellowship and worship together. That is just, I don't see it in anywhere any other way in scripture than for people to gather
mm.
together and do life together. So
Word, word, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's powerful, man. You're unashamedly, love talking about the scripture, love talking about God, Jesus, and discipleship, community,
yeah,
and then I read that you used to be a pastor, you used to be a youth pastor,
okay,
and you made a decision to resign from that. And one of the things you were mentioning was being a Christian rapper and then being a youth pastor was kind of like that gimmicky look, and you just felt like you needed to go 100 toward this music ministry. When was it that you resigned from as a youth pastor?
Um, it wasn't a resignation per se. Full disclosure, I was the youth minister and led over the youth. And at the time that we were developing a platform and developing a program with our youth, my wife and I had our daughter. And at that
Mm,
time, we were probably really poor stewards of our time. And
mm,
so the program kind of dragged a little bit. And at the time, even though me and my wife had a daughter, like we were like at odds with one another. And then I talk about it in other songs. We were going through, she was going through postpartum, and it was just a lot.
mm.
It was a lot to deal with. And at the time, our pastors, in their wisdom, was like, hey, we'll hold the program down. You guys take care of yourselves. Like
Wow.
focus on ministry, focus on the ministry that is under your own roof. And that is what we began to do. So at that
Mm,
particular point in time, we had an emphasis on focusing on each other, getting to like each other again, getting to learn how to adjust to life with another human
wow.
being that was depending upon us at the time. And so once we got to that point, by then our youth ministry started to continue to flourish based on some of the things that we instituted, and they found somebody that really had a heart and a passion and a burden to help develop the youth. So they actually slid them in, and we were like, hey, and personally, I don't even regret it because it's kind of one of those things where, in my personal opinion, this is conjecture, I don't know if it's ministry unless you can give it to somebody else, right? I don't
Mm,
know if
that's
I
good.
don't know if you're really cultivating ministry unless you can pass it on to somebody else. Now, granted, the name of the ministry that they have now, the structure of the ministry that they have now, a lot of that was stuff that God gave me and my wife, and that we installed with the current program. But somebody else, moved it forward, and the Bible says one plants, one waters, and we have to be, okay with that. And our youth seem to be thriving at this point, so I mean, we couldn't ask for anything else. So the music just happened to be,
Wow.
once we moved aside from that, everything, propelled itself forward with music. And I was like, oh man, maybe this was, God orchestrating this all along. Maybe, it was
Wow.
for us to, take a step back because the other platform started to elevate. So that's really what it is.
Yeah. Yo, man, shout out to your pastors too. I think it's so dope that they saw something, and obviously you guys were effective youth ministers, but they saw what was more important was the relationship between you and your wife, and in their wisdom, they said, "Hey, y'all, that's more important." So, big shout out to your pastors for doing that, man. I love hearing about leadership, and also kind of in line to echo what you were saying about community. William said that it was awesome. He met his wife in church, and they're going on to 13 years in February,
Wow.
connecting through the church. That's awesome, William. Appreciate you for sharing that. Now, dude, let's get into this music, man. In an interview, you mentioned, I mean, that you have a couple albums untucked. So, like, you got projects, I mean, already lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, now I think you have 6 albums, 3 mixtapes, and an EP, right?
Um,
Total so far.
yeah, see, man, I gotta count. Okay, so daylight saving time, hope is dope, nobody famous, hurry up and wait, hope is dope too. That's 5 albums. 5 albums, 3 mixtapes, 4 mixtapes. So 9 projects.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And so you already have albums ready to
Oh, yeah.
go.
Yeah. If everything goes according to plan, I got a social experiment. That's one that I think people are gonna really enjoy. It's gonna kind of surprise people. But then I could probably drop 2 albums plus the social experiment, so 3 albums, be a part of another one, a joint compilation. Is like 5 projects before the end of the year. Like it's very possible
Oh, but you're thinking about releasing it, the 5 projects in this year?
in 2020.
Crazy.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
one of them is done, is pretty much done. So yeah, so be on the lookout, man.
Bro, but bro, you kind of, I mean, you set yourself up, dude, in the sense of you were mentioning how you had these music videos dropping one after the other because
Yeah,
you had like this favorite with this videographer. You guys kind of like banged it out all like in one take real quick.
yeah.
So my question is, are we expecting the same? Should we be expecting that same amount of music videos from you?
Uh, I'll say this: yes, and more. Yes, and more. Yeah, yes, and more. So, yeah, definitely expect more. So, we missed out on being able to do another one for Hope is Dope too. Like doing it wrong was actually supposed to be like a video. And we just couldn't
Mm.
coordinate the schedules before the album dropped. And so we ended up, moving a different direction. But the next, the
But we're
next,
gonna get another video though, right, for this project or no?
nah, nah, that's it.
Nah.
Nah, that's it. But I'll make up for it though. I'll make up for it.
Oh man, all right, all right. Well, let's dive into it, bro. Congratulations, bro. I saw that you put that your album has hit, top 12 already. Is it?
Yeah, number 12 on iTunes, number 4 on Amazon. Yeah, yeah.
Amen.
Like,
Amen. Praise God, man, and
amen.
well deserved, dude. The quality in these songs, the lyrics in your songs as well. I was wondering what it was about your bars, and you mentioned in the interview, you mentioned how before you're a rapper, you're a writer, and
Yeah.
that made a lot of sense to me when listening to your music and kind of dissecting your verses. Um, um, well, explain to us, why do you think that kind of separates you from other MCs or other rappers? The fact that you're a writer first.
I guess because I'm a writer for well, here's the thing. I started as a singer first before I rapped. I started as a singer.
Oh, okay. Hold up. You're singing us on this project, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I knew I heard it. Okay.
yeah. So I started off as a singer first. And I developed writing through song. The reason why
Hmm.
rap got interesting is because I kind of had the mindset that rap felt more challenging at a certain point. It felt like it was more
Hmm.
challenging to put together words as an MC than it was as a singer. Like I was, doing stuff, writing songs for, sending catalogs to like Universal Music Group and stuff like that. And that stuff kind of flew, but I found rap to be a challenge. And the spark, and this is the thing that I tell people, I laugh about it now, but I signed to a hip hop label probably around 2010, 2011. And I was still a singer. They brought me in as a singer. Um,
Wow.
I ended up singing a hook for a homie of mine who I worked with. And when I sent this joint to him, he referred me to the label I eventually signed to. And they were like, "Yo, we want to see if you could do more hooks." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, cool." So they left me this song with an open verse, right? And so I sung the hook, and I thought the hook was fire. But I was like, "Yo, I feel like rapping," so I rapped on it too, like in this open verse space. And so I sent
Hmm.
it to him, and he was like, "Yo, this hook is fire." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But what about that verse though? What you think about the verse? And he was like, "I mean, since you're a singer, I think like you should probably do more like Usher, like US. Like, and then he was like, or like Miguel, like how Miguel does his little rap song, like you can do that. And he was so serious. And what he didn't realize is he put the battery in my back, right? Like I was like, I would never have somebody say that again. I would never somebody tell me that I'm not as good a rapper as a singer ever again. Like, and that motivated me to really dig in, study, and research more intently, like the art of rap and the art of crafting flows and all of that stuff. And I just dove headfirst and dove in, man, and I fell in love with it. And so I'll probably return to singing at some point. But definitely rap motivated me a little bit more. I felt like singing came a little bit easier, so rap
Hmm.
motivated
We had somebody leave a comment, and not sure if it's going to be possible. You let us know. Felicia wrote a comment saying, "Sing for us now."
me. No, don't. no, 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 not at all, not at all. No, we're talking about Hope is Dope too right now. Hope is Dope too. Right?
That's right. That's right. Sorry, Felicia. I try to help you out. All right. Yeah,
Nah,
you started off Hope is Dope too, right? And with the song All Figured Out.
yeah,
And I wasn't gonna let you slide off this bar, man. It was powerful. You said, little homie, if your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seed. And then you said you could grow two things. You could grow flowers or water them weeds. Explain that bar for us, man. I just love the picture in that verse, in that
yeah.
bar.
Yeah, I was, just saying that you feed what you feed your thoughts. It's like, the perspective that you have on life is going to be based on what you feed it. And if your
Mm,
mind is a garden, then the thoughts that you have are the seeds to that garden. So
mm,
you're going to water those seeds with good things, or you're going to water those things that destroy. Um,
mm.
and so, and basically flowers, weeds, or, flowers are looked at as a beautiful thing, or the weeds are looked at as a thing you don't need. So
Yeah,
I really wanted to place an emphasis on, renewing a mind, just because the song in and of itself is called All Figured Out. So it's obviously something that you're thinking, it's a battle of the mind in and of itself. So if I could, give people a couple of gems here and there, water the flowers or water the weed, grow the flowers, water the weeds.
yeah.
So I think that bar actually kind of, man, those bars, yeah, that was kind of hard. Like I didn't, that was all God though.
Humble boast, humble boast.
That's it. That's all God, man, boast in the Lord, right?
Yeah, no, I thought that I had to write it down, bro. When I first heard it, I'm like, man, I mean, that's a classic line right there. Obviously, a song that people are loving, dude, is All In, and I gotta give myself credit for that, bro. I put up a picture and I put on the caption, "Landed dry bones. I'm gonna do the Dougie, dog." And I think that's what made everything go viral for you, bro. So you're welcome.
Yo,
But people are loving this track. Did you know that was gonna be hot?
Um, you know what? I didn't even think about it that way. I actually wanted to make a record that I could hear like played at a basketball game, or like a Nike commercial, or like a football game or something, like when you're turning on the TV looking at a Powerade commercial, like is you all in? Is you out? I was
Yeah,
like that was hard. Like, and
yeah,
it came out that way. I just had a whole lot of fun, man. And it was
yeah.
the only record that was really like it on the album. Because last year, I mean, on Hurry Up and Wait, I felt like I kind of dropped the ball, because another record, one of my favorite kind of records, hype records, was actually All Year. And All Year was a joint that I really wanted to pitch to Nike. And yes, I was like, yo, Nike, they gonna love this. But it came out at a time where the pitches for like March Madness were over with. Like the pitches for a
Mm.
lot of seasons in the sports were done with. So I was like, I missed it. So I figured if I get February, maybe we might get something this year, So I'll see what doors I can knock on. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
a record in.
Yeah, I thought it was dope, man. The line, I mean, so simple and catchy, bro. I think All In is definitely like an anthem song. Tell me about Bless, man. Tell me how you got connected with Derek Minor, and why did he make the cut?
Um, Me and Derek were supposed to get a record done probably like 2 years ago. And it just never formed. Like it never really came into it. When I came to GOM initially, he actually retweeted a record of mine called "Pulling Up," from the Nobody Famous project. And I met him in New York because we did the BET Versed segment there, me and Selah, and we met him and we met Doc Watson over there, and we were like, "Yo, we got to get a record done." And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, get a record done, shoot it to me." And we stayed connected, but never really materialized anything. And what's funny is when I reached out to Derek initially to do the record I wanted him on was All In, right?
Mm.
When I shot it to him, he was like, he was like, "Now real talk, bro. I don't want to do any more Jesus Turn Up records." Like, so at that point, he was like, "No, no, no. I respect you what you do, like send me something else, like send me a couple other ideas, and we can build from there. So that's what I did. I sent him a couple other ideas, and one of them was No Hell, and one of them was Blessed. And I sent him
Hmm.
both. He gravitated toward Blessed, and we made it happen. So that's how he made
Yeah.
it on the project.
Bro, and crazy is that I could definitely hear him on All In. Like
Yeah,
I could definitely picture him on
exactly.
that, man. You know, I'll tell you to be honest with you, bro, no hell is probably hold up. Can you hear me? Hold up. Yo, y'all let me know. He was kind of lagging for me. You guys let me know if you guys can hear me or if I'm lagging. Let me see if he's back. I think he's back. Hold up.
I can,
You
yeah,
back?
yeah, I'm here.
All right, perfect. Um, I didn't hear what you were saying, but what I was mentioning to you, bro, was No Hell was probably one of my favorite favorite songs on your project.
Yeah.
And who was the producer on that track?
Sea Life on the beat. Sea Life on the beat. Yeah, he's done a lot of work with GOM. Like he's done a lot of my records. He did a Long Way to Go for me lad on Hurry Up and Wait. He did Go Outside on Hurry Up and Wait. We just got a good chemistry, man. And he actually produced that one. And I heard it and I just kind of wanted to go in because I
Hmm.
was, seeing a lot of things on the internet, people commenting, saying all kind of stuff like under the banner of Christianity, and I was like, man, y'all talking real crazy, man. You really don't have a hell to put anybody in. Like
Hmm.
this whole back and forth. I kind of approached it like attacking the spirit, not people, but that spirit of division, that spirit of
Hmm.
combativeness and all that, man. I was just like, all right, let's
Yeah.
go ahead and tackle this.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking like they samurai, but really they just Dragonfly Jones, right?
Right, right. That's
Yo.
exactly like a lot of them is experts at everything, but really they're just fronting. They just dressed the part.
Yo, that's what I loved about your project, man. Your humor gets mixed in there. Every now and then you put like these bars. And I just love the humor in a picture that you paint in your verses, man. Another song that I thought was powerful was Underneath. Who was the person on the hook of that song?
For
Hold up. Y'all let me know if he's lagging. I don't know, it might be on my end or on his. Y'all let me know if y'all are able to hear me. Let me see. See if I can bring him back in. Hold up. I think he might have frozen. Reinhardt, are you able to hear me, Reinhardt? Yeah, he's lagging. All right. Want to make sure. Yeah, he wasn't. I just want to make sure it wasn't me or my internet. I'm gonna see if he's gonna be able to log back in into this live stream. Right now, we're breaking down the "Hope Is Dope" Part Two from Jered Sanders, God Over Money artist, and we broke down how the features, how he got signed to God Over Money, the producers on the project as well, and we were getting into this one song called "Underneath," and I didn't hear who he said it was featured on the actual hook of the song. But if you haven't, gotten this project or been able to listen to it, it's available on all platforms. Look up Jered Sanders. Hope is dope. I got my man coming back in right now. Let's see.
Yo,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you, bro.
No, it's
What
all
is
good,
going
bro.
on
It's all good, bro. Let me see.
Nah, we
It's all
good.
good. It's the Los Angeles Lakers Wi-Fi, bro. It's all good. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm on. So get off. Get off.
Let me see.
Messing it up.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the less devices, right? Not too many devices on, bro.
Correct, correct.
Let me see. Yeah, so we were on underneath, bro. Who was the person on the hook? I love the hook of underneath.
Yeah, Eris Ford. Eris Ford is one of the two Evan and Eris, man. She's the sister of the brother sister tandem, Evan and Eris, man. So um she's super dope, man. She actually lended some vocals on other occasions as well. So on I feel like rapping again and doing it wrong. So she actually lended her vocals on a couple joints.
Yeah, man. The hook of underneath, man. It said it took a long time to love who I am, despite who I was or how I used to be. But if you look to the eyes of God, man, I just thought that that hook was so powerful and summarized that song so well. And you constantly throughout this project, you constantly take what people view or what they might be going through, what you've been going through, and then you remind people to look through the lens of God, look through the lens of Jesus. And why is that reminder so important for you to make to people?
Um, because our perception is so skewed, man. Like God loves. The Bible says God so loved the world, right? Like so, this idea that we should have this low, like damaging, destructive view of ourselves, like this horrifying view of ourselves when God loved the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Mm,
come on, man. Like maybe you just looking the wrong way. Like now, granted, there are
mm,
absolutely things that could be worked on, but this perception that you can't show your scars or that you're not loved because of some of the things that you've done is just purely ridiculous, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah.
you're talking about the author and finisher of the faith. You're talking about the creator of the universe, man. Um,
Mm, mm,
so change the way that you view things, and I'm pretty confident that you'll start to look at everybody through the eyes of God. It's and Jesus was saying it like how you deal with the least of these is how you deal with me.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So why
right.
would you have a low view of yourself, at that point in time? How do you love your neighbor as you love yourself? Like how do you do that if you don't love yourself? So
Mm,
that's what the whole song is about, man. It's about really focusing on the fact that, yeah, I've done some things. Yeah, I used to look poorly upon myself, but if you look through the eyes of God, you'll love what's underneath, because
mm,
God sees the heart. God sees all about us, and God sees the potential in us. God sees the struggle in us, but He still loves us anyway. So that's what it's about.
yeah. Amen, bro. I love it, man. Man, I don't want to hold you off too much longer, man. So I just got to ask you on this last song, and you went off on this one, kind of like on like a personal level on the song called "Nothing Like That."
Mhm.
And I thought you guys, I thought you really went in here. Like the lines that stood out to me was, if I tell a brother never kill his brother, man, or tell him there's a pleasant government, he tried to tell me we struggle and we're underpaid, and I'm never gonna relate if I'm not struggling. I was like, dang, wow, bro, what
Yeah,
inspired this song?
the internet. Um, the internet, man. That is like dot 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 the internet. No, I think that the common thing that happens in, is the misperception that goes on. We just got to understand that a lot of um, communication and or lack thereof is what causes a lot of tension. um it's not like the words that aren't said are problematic, but when you misconstrue the words that are said, it creates another set of problems.
Hmm,
So that record was really just addressing, like, hey, I'm trying to be helpful. Like, stop trying to parse words and make me seem like this horrible person. Like, you don't have to do that. I'm really trying to be helpful. I'm trying to be kind. I'm trying to be loving. So please don't. think about it as the worst thing ever. Like, please don't try to think that I hate you, or because really it's nothing like that, man. It's nothing
Mm.
like that at all. So yeah, I mean, you don't got to feel the need to rush, rush off. If you have some more questions, we got time. They ain't no
Oh,
never
dog.
more. Yeah, they.
All right, so let me ask you on this one, man. Like again, you're understanding about being a follower of Christ. What I love about what you're also unashamed of is being transparent about the struggles that you've been going through, and also the reality of where you're at in life right now. And one of the things you were mentioning, like in grown man biz,
Mhm.
man, and you're talking about how, and plus you had the OG on there, dog. You had Show Baraka. Before we jump to the song, like how did you get Show on that?
Uh, Funny story, right? Somebody I did a QA on Instagram one time, just people asking questions and me having answers. And they were like, "Yo, who are 5 people that you think are really, really dope in the Christian space?" And I was like, I tried to name people that aren't God over money because I felt that was biased. Um, so I said I mentioned Show Baraka. This was probably about a year ago. And he was like, "Yo, this is really dope. Thank you very much, man. I heard good things about you. Somebody put me onto your music. Really dope what I'm hearing." I was like, "Yo, man, that's super appreciated." So probably 6 months later, I hit him up and was like, "Yo, what does it take to get the old man off the porch?" Um, and he was like, "Ha ha, old man off the porch. I like that." And he said, "Shoot me the record. I'll let you know." So I shot it to him. He loved it, and we made it. And I'm cool with being transparent on music because it's like you can't use it against me at that point. Like I put it out
Mm.
there. Like so, understand it came from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
if I'm struggling and I let it be known that I'm struggling, you really can't weaponize that anymore. Um,
Mm.
and so that's really what it is. The whole album was kind of created in the space where this time I took a leap of faith and left my job to be a better
Mm.
steward over everything that I had. And so the thoughts that were going through my mind, and the questions that I had, and the concerns and the worries I had, I just put them all out on paper, man. And that's how
Mm.
where we at. And Grown Man Biz is probably right now my favorite record on the album. It's probably my favorite joint.
Yeah, the production is dope too. Like a lot of that boom bap sound, like real. I just love this. Like a real good vibe song. Run my fade. Bro, like was this planned out, man? Like was Mayweather Senior like a part of the vision board of this project?
Nah,
Like how did that happen?
nah. The dude, we went to on tour. We went to a barbershop. One of Bizzle's barbers in California is a guy who happens to be Mayweather Senior's godson. He also trained people at the back of his boxing gym and so on and so forth. So, um, when he heard about it, Biz was like, "Yo, you think we could get, Senior to come to the video?" And he was like, "I don't know, we'll see." And he ended up, being able to pull it together, and we got Senior to come to the video. Yo, that dude is the fastest, most athletic 60-plus-year-old I've ever seen in my life. Um,
Wow.
out there, like he told me, like I had the boxing gloves on and everything. He was like, hit me," and he shelled up in the like shoulder roll. He said, "Hit him," and I hit him in the shoulder. And I had my left glove up, but I hit him in the shoulder, and I turned my hips. I hit him, like I was like, "Bum!" And he threw the shoulder back at me when I threw the right hand. Um, and the sharpest pain went from the middle of my hand up my arm, and it let me know right then and there he is not somebody you want to fight. And then like when I threw it a couple more times, he was like, he caught it and was like, and threw the left hand. I didn't see it. Like I didn't see it. So if he actually did hit me, I would have probably got knocked out because I would have never got punched. Like he was like he threw a 1-2 and I didn't see either hand. Um, so it I'm like, yo, this dude is 60 plus, man. This is not supposed to be happening like this. Like yeah, yeah. So you see where Junior get it from, man.
Yeah, well, I think everyone wants to know this, and I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. Genovia is asking this, and I think we all want to know. Um, you're in that ring. You're getting the gloves on. Do you have hands though?
Hey man,
Like
listen, not
because
a,
you said you might look uncomfortable.
listen, not against him, not against him. Nah, not against him. That dude done forgot more boxing than I can learn. Um, yeah, but if I gotta protect mine, I gotta protect mine. But yeah, no, not against him. Nah, nah, that's
Yeah,
like people don't
but
understand. It's just the science behind boxing. It's like it's pugilism. You're punching, you're breaking bones in your hand. They're healing, they're fusing harder. Your hands get calloused. They're wrapped up. They're beat up because boxers hit harder than regular people because their
mm,
hands have been broken and healed and broken and healed and fractured and healed over and over
yeah,
again and to protect themselves from themselves. So if he hits
mm.
you, I don't care if I hit him, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to surprise him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna hit him and not see it. Because if he hits me fully aware, nah, that's just ain't got hands like that.
Bro, Candice B, she said, I love the East Coast sounding flavor on the album. Is that what you were going for, like an East flavor sound on it?
Nah, normally on the Hope is Dope project, the original one and this one is really just a chance to show what I can do on varying styles. Really, it's not. I didn't have the mindset to do a East Coast sounding thing. That's why you got records like All In, or you got records like Blessed, or you got records like For the Win, or you got records like Run My Fade. Like I didn't aim to. It just so happened that the East Coast ish sounding stuff was really East Coastish sounding stuff, and but like I started there. Like anybody who's heard the Nobody Famous album knows, like I'm comfortable in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mm,
do that, with my eyes closed. And
yeah.
those kinds of records, I had a lot of fun doing too. Like so,
Mm,
yeah, it definitely wasn't a goal though. Nah, it wasn't a goal.
gotcha. Gotcha. I want to remind the people if they haven't listened to it yet, not to end it on nothing like that, but make sure you listen to I Feel Like Rapping Again. Bro, low key, that's one of my favorite tracks, dude. Like I just love I'm from the underground hip hop sound where I just want to hear bars.
Yeah,
And man, you just came with it from the beginning. And then that one the one girl, the singer, killed the chorus as well. And it was just like a bar after bar. Was that really like like a song that you're like, I don't know if I should release it. Let me just put it in the end. Was it for just play, or was intentionally I'm gonna
nah,
put it in the end?
nah, nah. Me and Dayton talk about this all the time. What happens is Dayton always wants one of those kinds of records on my project. He's like, yo,
Hmm.
you gotta have a record where you just bar out. Like you gotta have one of those. So they like Savings Time had a collection plate freestyle. Hope is Dope had Daddy Duties. Hope is
Hmm.
Dope. I mean, Nobody Famous had like Daddy Duties too. Um, it had what else? Versatility had what was the joint? I think it was the intro of that joint. And pretty much every project, Hurry Up and Wait had Daddy Duties 3 on it. Like so I feel like rapping again was just that pocket. Every now and again you kind of just want
Yeah.
to, unload, and because it was a joke between me and Selah, because a lot of people don't know. I really got tired of listening and rapping, like a year ago. Like I was tired of it. I was like, oh my gosh, rap, here we go. Like I did Hurry Up and Wait, Black Friday 2, and Gift of Gab in the year. But
Oh man, then my man's lagging again. Um, yeah, I think he's lagging again. Jared, if you can hear me, try to bring you back in. Let me see. Nah, he's still lagging, bro. See if you'll come back in so we can close it out. Are we going to get some straight singing in the tracks in the future? Uh, I think James Jones. That's the question I was going to ask him as well. Is if we're going to get any singing. Let me see if he's back on. Hold up. No, he's still lagging. But if he's able to log back in, that's actually a song that a question that I wanted to ask him as well. If we can expect a singing project from Jared. I mean, typically you don't think of God Over Money coming out with any straight singing projects, but hearing the song and hearing the singing that he's done on the song, the man's talented. I think it'd only be fair for his fans or followers that have been supporting him to get a singing project. Reinhardt earlier left a question. Reinhardt Joseph said, "What are the top five MCs that got you into hip hop?" So that was a question I was wanting to ask him as well. Uh, MCs that got him involved in hip hop, and also uh, MCs or artists that he wants to actually feature on his future projects as well. So if you have any other questions, make sure that you do write a comment so that I can ask him if he's able to log back in. Hopefully, he's able to. So make sure you go ahead and share this, like this to other people, so other people are able to be aware of this project. Um, I think last I heard, it was top 12 on iTunes and top five or top eight on Amazon. So I think that's dope. And but anyway, so I don't think my brother's gonna be able to log back in. He's got that Wi-Fi that's been acting up tonight, unfortunately. Well, look, if this is the first time you've connected with me, my name is Diego. Go ahead and send me a friend request. Send me a message. Let me know what you thought about this interview. If you don't know, I interview artists every now and then. In 2020, I got a gang of artists I'm going to be interviewing as well. So I can't wait to hear from y'all. Let me know what you guys thought about this. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. And just remember, it's always ministry before industry, keeping God first. Let me know what artists you might want me to interview. Checking in from Miami, Florida. I love y'all. Big shout out to Jam the Hype. If you're an artist seeking promotion or needing promotion, or you have a brand, make sure to write me a message if you need some promotion. And let's see, hold up. I think I see my man trying to log back in. Hold up. I think Jared's back in. Hold up. Let's see. Is the man is he back? Is he back? Nah, let me see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, you're back, brother. You're back. Man, shout out to Wi-Fi.
No, shit, no, we're gonna call it Wi-Fi because I'm crying right now.
Bro, we got to talk about that Wi-Fi game. I'll
Um,
make sure to send Cash App my man Jared. Step up his Wi-Fi.
oh no, no, yeah, just no, no, just cash at me, like cash at me direct, cash at me direct, cash app. Hope is dope LLC. Cash at that, please,
But
please.
I wanted to ask you this, and someone that there's a question as well that I think is only right that we ask you this, bro. Can we expect a project from you just singing?
Yeah, yeah. That's in the cards. That's
Oh,
in the cards
word,
for sure. It's probably when I do it, it's gonna surprise you. Like I generally like to integrate new things. Well, with each project, I kind of like to show people something new, like something another skill set to incorporate. So this project, I sung more than previous projects, and so on and so forth. So we're getting to the point where we're gonna see more. Like we're gonna see a lot
word,
more of that.
word. What are some some closing questions we've been dropping in? What would be some of the artists that I know you got your projects already basically done, but who's somebody that you'd want to work with that people might not be expecting Jared collaboration, but it's someone that you would ideally want to collaborate with?
Um, uh, I like KB. Um, I like KB, but a real person that I would like to collaborate with is Montel Fish.
Oh, he's
I kind of
dope.
say it a lot. Uh, yeah, I like Montel Fish. So it's very possible that I would throw him into the fray too. Um, yeah, so maybe maybe gemstones, like maybe J Monty, like we'll get a
Yeah.
J and J connection. I don't know.
Yeah. But I would love to hear a Jared Sanders and a Steve Malcolm collaboration.
Hey man, I'm with that too.
Yeah.
I'm with that too. Ask Steven if he can hang.
Hey, that man's dope, man. I'm gonna send him a message, man. I'm gonna let him know to make something happen, man. I think that a song like that would be dope. And somebody asked,
Yeah,
out of
definitely.
respect to one of the comments was, what are some rappers that help propel you into Christian hip hop? Who
Help
inspired
propel
you?
me into Christian hip hop.
Yeah.
Um, mm, and into Christian hip hop, nobody.
Hmm.
Into Christian hip hop, nobody. I kind of was heavily influenced by hip hop artists. One of my favorite rappers, actually, my favorite rapper of all time is Fonte, from Little Brother. Um,
Hmm.
but I kind of crafted my skill set based off of who I felt like were the best rappers in the world. The Black Thoughts, the Andre 3000s, the Nas's, the Lupes, the Eminems, the Jay-Z's, the Fonte. Like I wanted to the Royce the 5 9s. Like I wanted to
Yeah.
cultivate by sharpening in comparison to them.
Hmm.
So coming into the Christian space, I wasn't inspired to do Christian rap because of a Christian rapper. Like I was inspired
Hmm.
to do Christian rap because of Jesus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that would be the reason why.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Black Dot. I think Black Dot is one of the top five MCs in my book, Black Dot. Um, but also, man, I know we didn't mention it much, but you did launch a merch company selling apparel. What would be the best way for people to connect with your brand?
Oh yeah, hopeisdopeclothing.com, 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 hopeisdopeclothing.com. Yes, you can go there. Yeah, hopeisdopeclothing.com just in case we didn't get it. Um, yeah, man. Right now we got hoodies, we got shirts, we got hats. Every month we're dropping a new piece. So we should have the In God We Trust collection coming by the end of this month. We got Black History Month in February. We got March Madness coming in March. We got a spring collection coming in April. We got a bunch of stuff. May we're gonna have breast cancer awareness in
Word.
month. We're gonna have the pink hoodies and the pink everything. We're gonna do the next album promo stuff. So it's gonna be a lot, man. Track jackets, denim jackets, windbreakers, bubble jackets, hoodies. We
Denim
really
jackets.
trying to do.
Put me on for denim jackets, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely let it be known when that comes into play. For sure. And Letterman jackets, we're gonna do that. Like it's gonna be a lot, man. Cause if I'm gonna go this hard for the music, I gotta go this hard for the clothing too, man. So just to make
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that we
It might
respect it
require
on
you to
that front.
post more than it might require you to post more than six posts on your Instagram though for people to know something about it, bro.
For sure. You're right. And it's crazy though, bro. Like I'm learning. Let me learn. Let me learn. Let me learn. No, but we get in there, man. Like what's crazy is it's been wildly successful considering my amateurism. So clearly the hand of God is on it. So if you want to be with the clothing line that has the hand of God on it, hopeisdopeclothing.com, hopeisdopeclothing.com, hopeisdopeclothing.com. Yeah, yeah. Make sure
Yeah.
you get with that. Because Jesus
So in
loves
case,
it and Jesus loves you.
so in case you don't know, make sure to go to hopeisnopeclothing.com to support the brother,
Facts.
help him get a new internet connection at his crib. For
Amen. Yes, yes, yes. I stand in agreement. I stand in agreement with that. For
Hey, my
sure.
brother. Hey, I know this is our first time, man, doing an interview and being able to chop it up. I'm looking forward to being able to do it again, brother. Appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate your heart
Yeah.
behind the project, man. And yeah, dude. So we'll definitely get this going one more time. We'll get this going again, bro. But I appreciate you. Appreciate what God Over Money is doing. Appreciate what the fact that you're unashamedly loving Jesus in your track, but you also have bars and production, and which I look at that and I'm like, man, praise God for this, Lord. I appreciate that, brother.
Word.
So we'll do this
No doubt,
again,
man. I
dude.
appreciate you for your time.
Yeah, man. We'll do
Yeah,
this again,
we'll
brother.
do it in we'll do it again when the Lakers win the championship this year, man. I'll definitely make sure I come back. I,
So we're not
I'll
gonna
the
do it again.
Lakers. Yeah, absolutely. We
We
gotta
won't do it again.
because we'll never do it again if we waiting on the Heat. Just so you know, just we'll
Ah!
never do it again. Like, literally, just so you know, just had to put that out there. You know,
Yo, as soon,
just had to put that out there.
yo, but if we do it again, make sure you step your Wi-Fi game up, though, my brother.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I have some South Beach Hope is Dope apparel. How about that one?
Yo, yes, I will buy that, bro. Get that
I
going.
bet you will. Yes, I bet you will. I bet you will.
Yeah, man. Hey, love
I
you, my
definitely
brother.
will.
Appreciate you, man. We'll keep in contact, dude.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace. Hey, so if you enjoy the interview, kicking in my brother Jered, man, he's a trip. Make sure you go to hopeisdopeclothing.com. Support the brother. Make sure you support Hope is Dope Part 2, available on all digital platforms. If you enjoy this, make sure you share it. Make sure you like it. Send me a message. Let me know what you think about it so we can connect. Let me know who you think I should interview next. Major shout out to jamthehype.com. If you're seeking promotion for your clothing, for your music, or whatever it may be, send me a message and we will see what we can do to help you out. Love y'all. And remember, it's ministry over industry. My name is Diego, and peace.